In this lesson, you will learn the properties of normal distribution and know how to use properties of normal distribution to calculate values when given the probability or the percentile. Suppose you know the average score on a test and you know the standard deviation. What would you need to score if you want to score better than 90% of the class? This type of question is something that you might wonder when preparing for your SAT exams. To solve this, we could use the z-score formula. We'll assume that the set of test scores are approximately normal, with the mean of 80 and a standard deviation of 5. If I want to score better than 90% of the class, what do I need to score? To solve this, first draw your normal curve. We'll label with the mean and then the standard deviation. For this problem, we are trying to find the score which we don't know. So first let's label the mean is 80, the standard deviation is 5, so we have 85, 90, and 95. And then to the left, we have 75, 70, and 65. Okay. Since we don't know the score, we'll just label an X somewhere along the horizontal axis. So let's see, we want to score better than 90%. It's probably going to be a pretty good high score. Let's just say somewhere maybe around here. We'll call it X. Okay. Since we want to score better than 90% of the class, we need the area to the left of this curve, all of this here, to be 90% is what we're looking for. This will represent the 90th percentile, or a probability of 0.9. Next, we'll write down the formula for the z-score, and we'll fill in what we know. And then you plug that required z-score from the standard normal table, and we'll solve for x to answer the question. For this type of problem, we are going to use the chart a little bit differently than we did before. We need to find where the 90th percentile would be, so we'll look first to find where 0.90 is on the table. For the 90th percentile, the closest that we can find is 0.8997. From that point, we look to the left to find the first two digits, 1.2, and we look up to find the third digit, which is 8. When we put those two together, we get a z-score of 1.28. We'll take that number and we'll plug it into our z-score formula, and we get 1.28 is equal to x, the score we want to find the probability of, minus the mean, which is 80, divided by the standard deviation, which is 5. We'll multiply both sides by 5 and then add 80 to solve for x, and we get that x equals 86.4. This is the score that you would need to score better than 90% of the class. Now it's your turn. Assume vacation days for working adults is normally distributed, with a mean of 10 days and a standard deviation of 2.3. A claim is made that teachers fall into the 99.9 percentile of adults who take vacations. How many days of vacation do they take? You'll use the standard normal distribution chart to help you solve this. Pause the video to work out the following problem, then click play to continue. Let's look at how we would solve this problem. In our situation, we have a z-score, which can be found from the standard normal distribution chart, of 3.2. Z is equal to 3.20. Our mean was 10. Mu is equal to 10. And our standard deviation is 2.3. So sigma is equal to 2.3. We can plug that into our z-score formula and solve for x. So we get z is equal to x minus mu over sigma, which would be 3.20 is equal to x minus 10 over 2.3. Solving for x by multiplying both sides times 2.3 and then adding 10, you get x equals to 17.36. This means that teachers take about 17 days of vacation a year. In your notes, please take a moment to write down a summary of the steps for using normal distribution to find x values using a standard normal table. First, sketch a picture and label your mean and standard deviation. Then, shade the region that represents your situation. Write the z-score formula and substitute in your information. Next, you'll use the standard normal table to find the z-score for your corresponding percentage. Then add the z-score to your formula and solve for the missing variable, and write your conclusion. In this lesson, you have learned the properties of normal distribution and know how to use the properties of the normal distribution to calculate values given the probability or the percentile. Thank you for watching. See you in the next lesson.